So, tell me, Peter, are you still a teacher?
No, I haven't been a teacher for several years.
Really? What are you doing now?
I'm a school director.
That's great. Do you still play the piano?
No, I haven't played the piano in years. Just don't have the time anymore. How about yourself? Do you still go boating?
I wish. No, I'm afraid I haven't been boating for ages.
Well, John, sorry, but I have to go. Look, let's get together soon.
That's a great idea, Peter. It's been too long. So, tell me, Peter, are you still a teacher?
No, I haven't been a teacher for several years.
Really? What are you doing now?
I'm a school director.
That's great. Do you still play the piano?
No, I haven't played the piano in years. Just don't have the time anymore. How about yourself? Do you still go boating?
I wish. No, I'm afraid I haven't been boating for ages.
Well, John, sorry, but I have to go. Look, let's get together soon.
That's a great idea, Peter. It's been too long. So, tell me, Peter, are you still a teacher?
No, I haven't been a teacher for several years.
Really? What are you doing now?
I'm a school director.
That's great. Do you still play the piano?
No, I haven't played the piano in years. Just don't have the time anymore. How about yourself? Do you still go boating?
I wish. No, I'm afraid I haven't been boating for ages.
Well, John, sorry, but I have to go. Look, let's get together soon.
That's a great idea, Peter. It's been too long.
What's happening with the car?
I'm going to apply for credit tomorrow with Easy Credit Cards.
Great. I hope they accept your application.
So do I.
Oh, what are we going to do tonight?
I'm not sure. I really wanted to see a good movie. I haven't seen a good movie in a long time.
What movie are we going to see?
I don't know. Have you seen any good movies lately?
Yes, I have. I saw this great movie last week.
Really? What movie did you see?
I saw Titanic. What's happening with the car?
I'm going to apply for credit tomorrow with Easy Credit Cards.
Great. I hope they accept your application.
So do I.
Oh, what are we going to do tonight?
I'm not sure. I really wanted to see a good movie. I haven't seen a good movie in a long time.
What movie are we going to see?
I don't know. Have you seen any good movies lately?
Yes, I have. I saw this great movie last week.
Really? What movie did you see?
I saw Titanic. What's happening with the car?
I'm going to apply for credit tomorrow with Easy Credit Cards.
Great. I hope they accept your application.
So do I.
Oh, what are we going to do tonight?
I'm not sure. I really wanted to see a good movie. I haven't seen a good movie in a long time.
What movie are we going to see?
I don't know. Have you seen any good movies lately?
Yes, I have. I saw this great movie last week.
Really? What movie did you see?
I saw Titanic.
What is your present address?
1800 North New Hampshire, apartment number 210, Los Angeles,
What's the zip code?
90026,
What's your telephone number?
area code 213-669-4444.
How long have you lived there?
3.5 years.
What was your last address?
1744 Occidental Boulevard, Los Angeles,
And the zip?
90012.
And how long did you live there?
4 year and a half.
What is your present address?
1800 North New Hampshire, apartment number 210, Los Angeles,
What's the zip code?
90026,
What's your telephone number?
area code 213-669-4444.
How long have you lived there?
3.5 years.
What was your last address?
1744 Occidental Boulevard, Los Angeles,
And the zip?
90012.
And how long did you live there?
For a year and a half.
What is your present address?
1800 North New Hampshire, apartment number 210, Los Angeles.
What's the zip code?
90026.
What's your telephone number?
Area code 213-669-4444.
How long have you lived there?
3.5 years.
What was your last address?
1744 Occidental Boulevard, Los Angeles.
And the zip?
90012.
And how long did you live there?
For a year and a half.
Hello, and welcome to Book 3, Unit. Today, we are going to contrast two tenses. We're going to contrast the present perfect and the simple past tense. Now, what do I mean by contrast? Well, to contrast is to point out the differences between things. So what I'm going to be doing today is to point out the differences between the present perfect tense that we have been discussing for the past few lessons and the simple past tense. Let's take a look first at the present perfect tense. You remember that the present perfect is used to describe things that started in the past and continue into the present. Let's take a look at an example of that. Now, the present perfect, John has worked for TAG Engineering for 10 years. Let me show you a diagram that explains a little bit better what I mean by, there we go, you see that? We start in the past and we move into the present. John has worked for TAG Engineering for 10 years, and he is still working for TAG Engineering today. The present perfect talks about something that began at a point in the past and then moves into the present where it is still true. Let's take a look at another example. I have lived in Los Angeles for 10 years. So, at a point 10 years ago, 10 years in the past, I began to live in Los Angeles, and I still live there now, 10 years later. I have lived in Los Angeles for 10 years. Is that clear? Let's take a look at another example. John's friend Peter says, I haven't been a teacher for several years. So you see, this also can be true of a negative statement or a negative condition. See those X's on our line right now? That shows us that Peter was a teacher several years ago. He stopped being a teacher, and he is no longer a teacher at this moment. I haven't been a teacher for several years. Peter also says, I haven't played the piano for years. Obviously, years ago, Peter played the piano. Then, at a point in the past, he stopped playing the piano, and he hasn't played the piano for years. So we can use the negative in the present perfect to express a condition that was once, then stopped, and has not begun again. David asks Monica, have you seen any good movies recently? This is an example of using the present perfect tense for an interrogative statement, for a question. Have you seen, past participle, along with that helper verb have. Have you seen any good movies recently? And what does Monica tell him? Yes, I have. There's a short answer using the present perfect. Then she says, I saw a really good movie last week. What tense is she using in that statement? I saw a really good movie last week. Well, that is a statement in the simple past. You see our past line here goes right down to last week. It's a simple past statement. It's an event that happened at a specific, easily nameable time in the past. When did Monica see a really good movie? She saw a really good movie last week. And that's why we have our arrow here pointing right down to last week. You see what I'm demonstrating? Let me explain about the simple past now. The simple past is used to describe things that happened in the past. Let's take a look at our timeline again. I went to school yesterday. So right here, underneath the past, we have yesterday. What happened yesterday? I went to school. It's a simple statement in the simple past. The simple past is used to describe things that happened at a specific time in the past. The exact time is known and stated. They went to Paris last year. There is the timeline. We've got our past time, last year. They went to Paris last year. Now, notice, except with the prepositions for and since, which I explained to you in our last unit, Unit 12, we do not use specific past time expressions with the present perfect. I have lived in Los Angeles for 10 years. The only time we use a specific time expression with the past perfect is with those prepositions for or since. Take a look at our timeline here. I have lived. Began in the past, it moves into the present to now. I moved to Los Angeles 10 years ago. I still live here now. I lived in New York in 1988 is our simple past statement. And you see the past line goes right down to in 1988. Okay? Now, let's work on some exercises that will make even clearer to you the contrast between these two verb tenses. And we'll start by naming the tense. So here we are. Our first sample sentence is, I lived in Los Angeles. Is that a statement in the simple past or in the present perfect? You tell me. Let me hear you. Right. The simple past. which we form by adding ed to the base form of the verb. In this case, live becomes lived. Of course, if the verb ends in e, we just add the d, don't we? I lived in Los Angeles. How about this? I've lived in Los Angeles. I've lived in Los Angeles. Is that simple past or present perfect? Of course. It's the present perfect. How do we know that? Because I've is the contraction for I have. That's the helper verb that indicates that we're talking in the present perfect. In this case, a little bit different, because this is a statement that indicates that at some time in my life, we don't even necessarily know when, I have lived in Los Angeles. These things get very complex. I arrived early this morning. Is that simple past or present perfect? Correct. It's the simple past. First way that we know is that it's a single verb that ends in ed. No helper verb there. I arrived when? Early this morning, at a point in the recent past that's specific and that's named. I worked for a small company. Okay? What tense? Right again. It's the simple past. I worked at this point in the past for a small company. I've worked for the same company for 10 years. What tense is this sentence? I've worked for the same company for 10 years. Two clues here, right? Well, the answer, of course, is it's the present perfect tense. We know this because I've shows us that this is using the helper verb have. Worked in this case is what? The past participle. And for 10 years is our other clue that this is a statement in the present perfect. They've been in Los Angeles for 20 years. What tense? That's right. Just like the last sentence, this is a sentence in the present perfect tense. They've, they have, helper verb have, past participle been, and then for, specific period of time, 20 years. I got married in 1976. Past or present perfect? Good. It's the simple past. I got married in 1976. It happened at a specific point in time. We've been very happy. What tense? Did you say present perfect? Well, you're right. We've been is the present perfect form of the verb to be. Have, past participle, been. This is followed by an adjective, isn't it? We've been very happy. We had our first child in 1980. Which tense? It's the simple past tense. We had. Had is the only verb in the sentence. It's not, in this case, a helper verb. We had our first child, specific point in the past, 1980. We bought a house in 1981. What tense? Again, this is a statement in the simple past tense. We bought a house in 1981. We've lived in the same house since 1981. Which tense? That's right, it's the present perfect tense. We have lived in the same house since 1981. Now, in these sentences, the ones that follow, I'd like you to put the verb in the correct tense. Let's take a look at our first example here. Okay, John is an engineer. He blank for TAG Engineering for 10 years. Now, remember, John still works for TAG Engineering today. That's important. I'll tell you why in a minute. Fill in the blank using the correct tense with that verb work. John is an engineer. He has worked for TAG Engineering for 10 years, and he still works for TAG Engineering today. Now, it is possible, by the way, to construct that sentence using the simple past. I could say, John is an engineer. He worked for TAG Engineering for 10 years, and then he worked for GAT Engineering for 5 years, and then he stopped being an engineer entirely. Do you see what I'm saying? If I'm telling you a story about a period in John's past, one that is over, I could use the simple past there. I could say he worked for TAG Engineering for 10 years. In the situation that we're discussing here, however, John began to work for TAG Engineering 10 years ago, and he still works for TAG Engineering today. So John has worked for TAG Engineering for 10 years. You know by the use of that tense that he's still there. How about this one? Monica is a student. She blank to the United States 6 months ago. And our verb is come. Are you going to use a simple past or a present perfect tense here? Well, the answer in this case is the simple past. Monica is a student. She came to the United States 6 months ago. We use the simple past because it's a distinct event that happened at a specific period of time which we can name, 6 months ago. David is an accountant. He blank Monica at LEI. And our verb here is meet. David is an accountant. He met Monica at LEI. Do you understand? This is telling the story of how David and Monica met. They met. He met Monica at LEI. How about this? David wants to see a good movie. He blank a good movie in a long time. And here we want to use the negative form of the verb see. David wants to see a good movie. He, and use the contraction here. How about it? Did you say he hasn't seen a good movie in a long time? We're using here the negative form of the present perfect. David wants to see a good movie. He hasn't seen a good movie in a long time. We have to use the negative form of the present perfect to let us know that he has been going to the movies for a while, for a long time, without having seen a good one. He hasn't seen a good movie in a long time. By the way, if you said he has not seen a good movie in a long time, you didn't use the correction, or the contraction rather, but you're entirely correct. How about this one? Blank, Monica, blank. Any good movies recently? Okay. Which tense are we going to use with this question? Blank, Monica, blank. Any good movies recently? Well, again, let's use the present perfect. Has Monica seen any good movies recently? This again gives us that sense of the history of this period of time, rather than something that relates to a specific moment. Oh, yes, she blank. Short answer. She blank a really good movie last week. Has Monica seen any good movies recently? Yes, she. Short answer. Yes, she has. And now, what's going to go into this next sentence? She blank a really good movie last week, using the verb see. Well, we've got a specific time there, so we know that it's the simple past, don't we? She saw a really good movie last week. Okay? Sorry, I didn't want that to disappear. I saw a really interesting sentence here just a few minutes ago, but I don't see it anymore. Use the correct form of the verb see. Have you blank a good movie recently? Yes, I have. I blank a good movie last week. So, which sentence is in the present perfect? Well, obviously this top sentence. Have you seen a good movie recently? Yes, short answer. I have. I saw a good movie last week. Now, this is a very typical kind of interaction in English. People will begin a sentence to talk about a period of time using present perfect, and the answer will come in the simple past because, yes, there has been a specific time during that period when this thing happened. Have you seen a good movie recently? Yes, I have. I saw a good movie last week. How about using the correct form of the verb do? Have you blank your homework? Yes, I have. I blank my homework last night. So how about this top sentence? Have you, what goes in the blank? How about the past participle of do? Have you done your homework? Yes, I have. I did my homework last night. And that's the sentence in the simple past. Have you done your homework? Yes, I have. I did my homework last night. How about using the correct form of the verb speak? Let's see what our sentences are. Have you blank to Mr. Maxwell? Yes, I have. I blank to him this morning. Let's do the top one first. Have you, past participle of speak is spoken. Have you spoken to Mr. Maxwell? Yes, I have. I spoke to him this morning. You can see how important it is to learn these simple past and past participle forms, parts of the verbs. Now here, the verb is pronounced read. Use the correct form of the verb read. Has she blank that book? Yes, she has. She blank it when she was at school. Let's start with the top one. By now you should know you're looking for the past participle. The base form of the verb is read. The past participle is spelled the same, but it's pronounced read. Has she read that book? Yes, she has. She, and what is going to be our simple past? It's the same, isn't it? She read it when she was at school. Now, obviously, you just have to know the way to pronounce these words. English is a very difficult language for people who are learning it as a second language, largely because of pronunciation. And this is a wonderful example of how English can drive you crazy. Don't worry, everybody goes through it. Read is the verb, but read is the past participle, and read is the simple past. Has she read that book? Yes, she has. She read it, that book, when she was at school. How about the correct form of the verb go? Has he blank to Italy? Yes, he has. He blank to Italy 3 weeks ago. Has he? Past participle is gone. Has he gone to Italy? Yes, he has. He went to Italy 3 weeks ago. How about the verb eat? Has Clayton blank his lunch yet? Yes, he has. He blank his lunch an hour ago. Very important word, ago. Has Clayton eaten his lunch yet? Yes, short answer. He has. He ate his lunch an hour ago. Eat, ate, eaten. Has Clayton eaten his lunch yet? Yes, he has. He ate his lunch an hour ago. Has Kelsey blank all the milk? Yes, she has. She blank all the milk at breakfast. What goes in this top blank here? Has Kelsey blank all the milk? Has Kelsey drunk all the milk? Yes, she has. She drank all the milk at breakfast. Drank is the simple past. Drunk is the past participle of the verb drink. Now, in this exercise, look at the picture and ask questions using the words that come up here at the top with the slashes between them. So the words are she, type, and the report. So let's see the example of the question that we're going to start. Has she typed the report yet? These are modeled on the questions that we've just worked on in the last exercise. And then the short answer will be what? Yes, she has. Now we're going to form a question using the question word when. This we're going to use the question form of the simple past. Has she typed the report yet? Yes, she has. When did she type the report? Okay, so this is the game for this particular exercise. Has she typed the report yet? Yes, she has. When did she type the report? Let's look at the next example. Look at the picture and ask questions using he, catch, and a fish. Let's start with our question using the present perfect. How are you doing? Let's do it together. The helper verb is has, the subject pronoun he, past participle caught, a fish yet. Has he caught a fish yet? How are you going to answer? Look at the picture. Short answer. Yes, he has. And then our when question using the question form of the simple past. When did he catch the fish? Remember, the is that definite article. We talk about a fish in the first sentence, so after that we're referring to the fish that we were already told he has caught. When did he catch the fish? Has he caught a fish yet? Yes, he has. When did he catch the fish? Let's try this one. He teach the lesson. My colleague. He teach the lesson. What's our present perfect question? Yet. Has he taught the lesson yet? Answer? Yes, he has. When? When did he teach the lesson? Has he taught the lesson yet? Yes, he has. When did he teach the lesson? Let's try another one. You send the letter. Okay? What's our present perfect question? And what's that adverb of time? Yet. Have you sent the letter yet? And what do you answer in the first person? Yes, I have. And our when question using simple past is when, helper verb of do, did, which is what carries the past, you, then the base form of the verb, send the letter. When did you send the letter? Have you sent the letter yet? Yes, I did. Or yes, I have, excuse me. When did you send the letter? I sent the letter earlier today. How about this one? You, again, make your move. Looks like you are a chess player. What is our question going to be in the present perfect? Helper verb have, subject pronoun you, past participle made, rest of the sentence. Your move, adverb of time, yet. Let's see if I'm right. Have you made your move yet? Seem to know my English pretty well. What's our short answer? Oh, it looks like, this might be a negative. Huh? Oh, yes, I have. Okay, it's not. I thought maybe we were going to be asked to say, no, I haven't, because he looks like he's still thinking. Have you made your move yet? Yes, I have. Of course, we wouldn't be able to ask our final question if the answer was no, right? If the answer were no. When did you make your move? Have you made your move yet? Yes, I have. When did you make your move? Okay, here we have a man who's cut down a tree. He cut down, a two-word verb, which has to do with chopping down, with with removing a tree, usually with an axe, which is what he's got here. He cut down the tree. Present perfect. Question. Has he cut down the tree yet? Short answer. Yes, he has. Our question using when. When did he cut down the tree? I hope you are beginning to get the feel for this, to get, as we say in English, to get the hang of it. It's an idiom that means to get it to feel more comfortable. Well, we have been working together on contrasting, on the contrast between these two tenses, the present perfect and the simple past. I have taught you about the simple past. I hope you have learned the lesson well. You did very well today. So thanks for joining me here to learn your English here at LEI.